Not anymore. The other screen. Not anymore. I set this up. Why isn't it displaying again? You take care of yourself, Clem. Where is my game? There's my game. Video games. Alright, more Broken Sword, more chilled out goodness. Remember to eat your assassins. Why am I back at the museum? I don't remember. Yeah, I need to speak to the lobber now.
He was a thin-faced, pallid guy with a questionable taste in outlandish clothes. My mother used to dress like that.
Yeah.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie. Where have you been? Nicole said you were away.
I just
went to
returned from
Syria.
Syria.
Syria? On the trail of the Templars?
It's a long story, but I found the bull's head. It was referred to on the manuscript, remember?
Yes. What is it?
A secret cave built into a high cliff face.
That looks like
In
a
the
bull's
cave,
head.
I discovered
It was
a map
ridiculous.
bearing a phrase in Latin. In accidenta cita est in ora mundi.
The island of Britain.
Lies at the edge of the world, to the west.
Strange. That map seems to contain a series of pointers.
Like I said, it's a treasure map. Does this lens mean anything to you?
Nothing.
Thanks, Andre. You're always
Thanks for your help,
really
Andre.
helpful.
You're welcome.
Anyway. Britain. I'm off work. Clem's not streaming today. I want to get this game done and then also do another game. So doing it a bit earlier felt reasonable. Plus, I'm free. How you doing, Ben? Rise can go back to Morph, so. You're not Inspector Moo.
The policeman was not much older than me. His face wore an expression of intense concentration. Excuse me.
Not so fast. I'd like your personal details, please.
Huh? What for?
In the event of an accident, it would help us to know where to send the body.
Look, is
Well,
this
that's
really necessary? I came in here to talk to Rosso.
Ah, why did you not say?
Evening, but good afternoon. Yeah, it's almost 6. I call anything after 5 o'clock evening. I'm not doing too bad.
Where's
I
Sergeant
can feel a
Moo?
headache building
Sergeant
up, so I'm just
Moo?
gonna
You haven't heard?
Heard what?
regulars.
Has something happened to him?
Moo is dead.
You're kidding.
What?
No, monsieur.
That's... How? Why?
The death of a policeman never comes as a surprise, but always as a shock.
But Sergeant Moo? He was so...
I know. He was as flexible as a riot baton. Yet his heart was as warm as a freshly extracted urine sample.
Kind of a dick, aren't you?
May I see Inspector Rosso?
I'm sorry, but he gave me orders not to disturb him, monsieur.
Do you know anything about Rosso's psychic techniques?
I cannot comment on my superior's
Moo
methods.
does actually live
All I
on.
will say
I'm pretty sure
is
he
that
returns in
Inspector
3.
Rousseau has an impressive record.
He's a good
Or
detective.
is at least
One of the best.
mentioned
He's a man
as
of
being
honor,
on the run
with
from
a
the
fine sense of
Templars
beauty.
at some point.
You wouldn't say he was a screwball?
Well, he's
Not
not
to
dead.
his face, monsieur.
Have you had any reports
Oh, he does appear in
concerning a
5. Cool.
suspicious clown?
Why, yes. There was a fracas only this morning. 3 arrests for public disorder.
And you say there was a clown involved?
A clown and a particularly offensive piece of sculpture with balloons. Are you in any way involved with the reprobate, monsieur?
No, not me. I'd like to shake you by the hand.
Do you want to be arrested for assaulting a policeman?
Huh?
I noticed the shake and shock buzzer concealed in your hand.
Thanks for your help,
Oh, bye.
officer.
Yeah, I think, like, the retcon is given as Moo going on the run from the Templars. I don't think it would technically constitute assault, but, you know, police can be really blasé with what is actually considered assault. So punching. Oh, if I'm gonna get done for assault, I might as well make it an assault. Bam! Into the face. Bam!
Hey, Nico.
Oh, hi. Come in.
I was already in, Nico. That phone looks really out of place.
Have you any idea what this lens might be used for?
As a magnifying glass, obviously.
Did I show you this tissue?
Yes, George. I asked you to get rid of it.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Question now is, what am I missing? What were we doing last time?
That's the face of the statue I saw at the Bull's Head.
And so the bull. We've got the lens. Got the tripod and the crystal.
That's the clue that led me to the Bull's Head in Syria.
This bull. So like that's all from there.
That's the clue that led me to Spain. The Night Scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened. And that's not a crystal ball. It's the lens I found in Marib. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces. That's the gem that Pegram found in Lochmarn. That's the tripod we borrowed from the museum.
Jane, would you mind? What am I
I'll be
missing?
back as soon as I can.
Okay.
Go to the museum for a reason last time? Thanks, Ben.
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar. Though people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park No, no, no. They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar. Not like Monsieur Lobineau.
Oh, great. Why aren't you over there sucking him off right now?
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
The sign on the tripod says it was found at a Templar preceptory.
It does?
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I never had much of a start in life, you see. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as the village school teacher. He taught me the alphabet. Well, 19 letters of it. The bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read, so he left them out.
Why don't you start over and enroll for adult education?
You know, I never thought of that. Do you think if I studied hard and did all my homework, I could be a professor of history?
At your age? Dream on.
Jeez, George.
I hear your tripod was stolen.
Nothing travels faster than bad news. It is true. It happened last night. I always said that alarm was no good.
It happened last night, even though, in the time since we've been to Syria.
Thanks for your help. The case was empty. The glass case was intact, but the tripod had been replaced by a sign reading, "Exhibit temporarily removed."
Let's go to Morphosaur. Oh, the Gendarme's back. Oh, hey, the priest.
A priest stood by the pews, energetically polishing something.
I hope we turn around and when we turn him around, he's still got his pants on. Yeah, we're going back outside then.
Hey! Hey, you! What do you think you are doing?
That's a
Leave
terrible
that
accent.
cover alone! Now!
Sorry, no harm intended.
You stay away from that!
I'm very underwhelmed, Bane. I imagine not. Especially since he's there in the sequel.
Excuse me, Father.
Pardon?
Oh,
Do you
thank
mind
God he
if
has
I ask
pants
you a
on.
few questions?
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure to help you.
Try
What
polishing
do
this
you make
for
of
me.
this chalice?
It certainly looks very old.
About as old as this church, I think.
There seems to be an engraving on it.
Yeah? What does it say?
I do not know. It is very tarnished. With your permission, I could try polishing it. I promise I will be
He
very
is retired in the smoking mirror. You think that's voluntary, though? Voluntarily
That'd be very
retired?
good of you.
Or,
This
like,
shouldn't take very long.
he was
Feel free
pushed
to
out
look
because he
around.
doesn't do anything?
Okay, thanks. The priest was still busy with the chalice, so I decided to have another look around the church. The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
Actually, in a lazy bit. You mean a Frenchman? Oh.
Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world, I guess. I didn't have time to sit around.
Pretty sure I'm after something. Probably got something to do with the statue. Although, let's take another look at the window.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
Hey, is that legendary streamer Fox Cat?
A huge stained glass
Hello,
window formed a
Joji.
magnificent centerpiece for its neighbors.
Just the entire window feels really out of place. There we go.
Per disciplinum meum lux videbis. A bit of a stained glass window. Wow!
Big Shaun cow, Ben.
Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary had been pretty optimistic, I guess.
Yeah, but it is a video game.
A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A huge arched window.
That's a lot of glass. Oh.
The lens fitted into the end of the scroll like a hand into a glove.
So weirdly and comfortably.
Hey! A Knight Templar burning at the stake, and a date.
MCCXIV.
Let me see. MCCC
1314.
XIV. That's 1314. Hello again, Father. Hey, thanks.
There's a
It is
good
my
call back
pleasure,
then.
monsieur.
What was the writing on the chalice?
It was not writing, my mistake. It was a coat of arms. The remarkable thing is that it seems very familiar.
Yeah?
Oui, I think I have seen it on that wall tomb in the far corner. That winged horse is quite distinctive.
Indeed.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church, then.
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah, oui.
You're still rubbing it.
Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened.
That's like
It is so long ago.
the priesthood could deny a previous pope.
Did you know that the center window conceals an image of a man burning at the
Not far in
stake?
the past,
The
Pope
burning
would have to
man?
be before the
What,
church
you?
would just outright.
That there was a hidden image? No. But the church has a reputation for being haunted. Many times, people have claimed to have seen a burning man in the window. But when others they look, there is nothing. Perhaps the light has to be just so for the figure to appear.
Yeah, or maybe you need a special lens. You must be proud to have such an incredible collection of stained glass.
Pride is a sin, monsieur, but it is hard not to marvel when the light shines through them. It is a fine example
Fair point. Like,
of the
why would you be
artisan's
proud of somebody
genius.
else's work?
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Alright, so the corner. We're very fortunate that over the years the lens hasn't broken, this statue hasn't been damaged and or moved, and this window is exactly as it
Now
was
that my
intended to
attention
be.
had been drawn to it, there was no mistake. There was no name on it, but the coat of arms was undeniably the Pegasus of the De Vasconcelos family. I'd found the last resting place of Don Carlos. My eye was drawn to the biblical references carved into the edge of the tomb. Hey, maybe these biblical references mean something. Psalms 32:7, John 4:11, Corinthians 1,
That's also
4,
a very
5,
good point.
and just one more. Psalms 22:21. I may not be perfect, but I've got a memory like a steel trap. The chalice had led me to these inscriptions, but it looked like a happy coincidence to me. After all, the De Vasconcelos arms were already on the manuscript. Nope, I was still convinced that the chalice had some significance all of its own.
Okay. Yo, Father, you got a Bible in this place?
Hello again, Father.
Bonjour, monsieur. How pleasant to speak to you again.
No? Okay.
Catch you
Weird.
later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
It was hard to believe it was the same chalice. Now the light gleamed off its perfect surface.
Hmm. Thanks, George.
A stone knight lay on the church floor. Just think, there's a dead guy under there.
I mean, there probably is.
The tomb of Don Carlos de Vasconcelos. It had to be. I couldn't wait to tell the Countess. I'd have to find out what the chalice was for first, though. Waiting in prayer for the Judgment Day. The Templars were demonstrating a
Drinking
pretty good
dumbass.
grasp of physics. If the dissolution hadn't happened, we'd have had cold fusion power last century.
And that's probably a bit much there, George.
I wondered if this guy had died in combat. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work. It was hard to believe it was the...
I don't think it is, no. You know, speaking of that, in point-and-click games, at some point, I would not mind doing the Indiana Jones point-and-click game.
I was surprised Philip Lebel had left this place alone.
I've done a little of Fate of Atlanta, but like, I'd be absolutely down for
I didn't have time. A row of
Last
old
Crusade as
pews,
well.
beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres.
Oh, yeah,
Firm, that... Whoa!
The immortality, though, required you to keep drinking from it, didn't it?
To think of the long centuries that it kept its secret. All the thousands of people who must have been through here and seen it without once suspecting. A huge stained glass window formed a scroll was a symbol of scholarship. A Knight Templar burning at the stake.
13, 14. 13. I'm curious about that, though. Well, there's some kind of tripping mechanism when you cross the seal. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the chalice only works in the tomb. If you were just left with the chalice, chances are it'd probably just work. The cup could absolutely pass the Great Seal, it's just the temple would collapse once it does. But if you just kept going, because like that place collapses pretty slowly. Should have eaten the chalice, should have just left. Yeah, the Last Crusade point and click game is supposed to be really good. $13. I need to find Bible. Some conflict. I mean, for the power of immortality, I'd be surprised if there weren't conflicts. Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, we read the Bible in Spain for some reason. Nah.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
What do you make of this cup, Andre?
It's a 14th century communion vessel. Spanish, probably.
You sure know your onions. While I was in Syria, I discovered a strange pagan statue.
Wouldn't let me talk about
It
this
was
thing
like a
before.
head with 3 bearded faces. Horrible.
That sounds as if it could be Baphomet, the idol described by the Templars.
The poor Knights of Christ had an idol that looked like that?
Allegedly. The description of the idol came from the evidence extracted by the Inquisition. Mind you, not one statue or idol was ever found on Templar property. Until now, that is. Just last month, a statue of Baphomet was unearthed right here in Paris.
Where?
At the Institut Hermétique de Nerval. The statue is beneath the foundations. It was discovered by some workmen while renovating the building.
Can you tell me any more about the statue of Baphomet?
It's a fearful image, even now. A bearded head. The base of the statue is carved with
Bearded
Templar
heads are, of course,
symbols.
the scariest.
One of the workmen noticed a curious stain at the base. He claimed it looked like blood.
Blood?
That's right.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Alright, let's get out of it. After the excavation. Yeah, there it is. I only vaguely remember this.
The painter didn't seem to regard the painting as too important. Not as important as a cigarette break, anyway.
I feel like I thought this was in a different game.
The doorway led to an old utility closet that had lost its door. There was nothing interesting in there. The doorway led to there was nothing. A guard stood by a door I guessed led to the excavation. He looked pretty pompous. Well, not so much pretty, just pompous. Hi? Excuse me?
Oui?
Do you speak English?
So, what exactly are you doing here?
I'm guarding.
You soup
You expect to
builder.
find me shearing sheep?
Take it easy. I just didn't realize you were a guard.
Hmm.
I'd like to know what you're guarding, please.
That's a secret.
It wouldn't happen to be an archaeological site, would it?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you.
Then why ask?
I had a feeling this was no normal hole in the ground.
I have a feeling this guy gets punched a lot by people he knows.
What do you know about the Knights Templar? There was a long pause during which the guard said nothing. Then he said,
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Is this a test?
What, like a history pop test?
No, like a test.
Okay, yes, it's a test.
Then I know absolutely nothing about the Templars.
Uh-huh.
The guard was being amazingly evasive. It was going to take more than goodwill to get past him.
Good thing I brought my convincing stick.
This gadget is a sewer key.
So it is.
Oh. Good work, George.
I was going to have to get rid of this thing. It was dead. Look, a tissue stained with grease paint.
Ah, just what I've always wanted. If you give me that, you can enter through the door.
Really?
Of course not. What would I want with an old tissue?
That's what I was thinking, and George's like, no.
I got this plaster from Ireland.
Not an exciting souvenir.
As exciting as your mother's underwear.
Do you recognize this name?
Merlin. Non?
Have you seen this man before?
Oh,
You have.
non?
Have you seen this man before?
Oh,
You have.
non?
I thought better of showing him the chalice. He might be on the conspiracy's payroll, and I didn't want to risk it.
Oui? You have...
Let's
A
go
sudden
kiss him.
urge to sing. Care to join me?
No, no singing in here.
Let's go small.
I've got a red nose.
Oh,
Talk to you later.
au revoir, monsieur.
There was a closed door with toilet scratched into the cheap veneer.
That door's locked, monsieur.
It's the paradise.
Do you mind if I use the phone?
Be my guest. I'm paid to guard this door. The phone can look after itself.
You're very bright, are you?
Hi, Nico?
Georges, what have you discovered?
Nothing yet.
Nothing. Is something wrong?
No.
Georges, why are you calling me?
Oh, no reason. I just wanted to hear your voice.
You did. Well, this is my voice saying, don't bother me, I'm busy.
Oh.
Well, that works out.
Yep, that was definitely debris. I couldn't see any use for a collection of dirt and half bricks.
I could see a use for a brick.
A dumpster with some debris in it.
Smack him over the head with it.
Excuse me, could you help me?
Wow, he's very small.
What is it?
I've got a few questions. You're doing a fine job.
Merci. I have my professional pride.
I don't think I've ever seen a Gauloise smoked so stylishly.
It's a natural talent.
I'm being sarcastic.
I'm being indifferent.
You're very good at that as well.
Merci. Vive l'indifférence.
So, what are you doing here?
I am having my break.
Yeah, I mean, when you finish your break.
When I finish my break, an interesting concept, monsieur.
You'll probably need to think about it.
I could have another cigarette while I consider. Perhaps tomorrow too?
This guy's the exact same kind of attitude I have when I'm on break.
Okay, let me
The
put
attitude
things
of I'm on
differently.
break, fuck off.
What were you hired to do here?
I was hired to keep the archaeological dig in the basement of this building clear of debris, and to touch up damage to the door frames with my little pot of paint. It's a very responsible job. Unfortunately, I'm not a very responsible person.
What does the word Templar suggest to you?
Templar?
Nothing.
Nothing.
So what do you know about the excavation?
I know they won't let me in to do my job. I would complain to my union, but
You couldn't be bothered to join.
right. Tell you what, though. I'm surprised at the sort of people interested in this excavation.
Huh? Like who?
What's unusual about the visitors to the excavation?
None
Yeah,
of them
pretty
look
much.
like
Or just even
archaeologists to me.
talk. It's
Do
like,
you
cool,
know
I'm on a
what an
break, I have
archaeologist
headphones
looks
on.
like?
I'm
Sleepy
reading.
suits, crocodile-eyed
It's
attache cases,
really...
Rolex oyster.
But
There's
no
obvious
archaeologist
sign of a
dresses
can
like
make of,
that.
like,
Quite
leave
right,
alone.
monsieur, quite right.
So, who are they?
Who cares as long as they pay me?
I was pretty sure the shaken shock had shot its bolt in Syria.
A greasy tissue.
Absolutely.
Don't get it too close to my cigarette, monsieur, or there'll be a conflagration.
How do you think the meat grease is made of?
I have some plaster of Paris.
Amazing.
Plaster of Paris.
I've got a sewer key.
I used to work in the sewer.
Oh? What happened?
I had a cigarette break in a pocket of methane. A manhole cover landed on the other side of the Seine and I was sacked.
Has a guy calling himself Merlin been nosing around?
Was he wearing a t-shirt with "My name is Merlin" on it?
I doubt it.
Then how the hell am I supposed to know his name just by looking at him? Huh?
Maybe he'd introduce himself.
Have you seen this man before?
Yes, he asked me a lot of questions, just like you.
Have you seen this man before?
Yes,
Have you ever seen anything like this?
yes, it's a communion chalice. I know, you know, I used to be an altar boy.
You?
Yes, me. What's so funny about that?
Nothing. I have a red nose.
Imagine.
Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Well, I think we've exhausted all of that. Oh, it's
I
only a
couldn't climb
single
over.
screen.
The gate was surrounded by some pretty fancy ironwork. Oh, darn. I'd left my grappling hook at home. No way could I get up there.
Come on, George, just do some parkour.
The archway was topped by a fancy balustrade.
Hmm.
The painter had a pot of gunmetal gray primer hanging from the barrier.
Hey, monsieur! Get away from my paint pot!
Okay.
I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. Puh!
Hmm.
Hey, monsieur! Get away from my...
Okay.
I should...
Never thought.
Hey, you! Get away from my dumpster.
There was a dumpster full of debris. From the excavation, I guessed.
Quite easily, Bane, with both hands.
Hi again.
What is it?
Yeah, a guy outside called you gay.
Trying to get into a locked washroom. I had the strongest feeling of déjà vu. I'd like to use the washroom, but the door's locked.
Oh, that's no problem. You can have the key.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Talk to you
This
later.
guy isn't
Au
very
revoir,
smart.
monsieur.
This place is bigger than I thought.
I didn't want to use that unless I really had to. A filthy wash basin hung on the wall. I wasn't that interested in what might go into a restroom's garbage to investigate. A bin
More
stood in
suspicious
the
part of
corner.
the world, I assume.
It didn't look like it had been emptied for a while. Being in a charming comfort station like this made me think fondly of the toilet in Syria. That place was kept in
one
pretty
of the
good order.
cleanest
At
toilets
least
I've ever
it
seen.
had been until I vandalized it. Still, it was all for a good cause. I didn't need to get near to tell the toilet needed cleaning.
Like, honestly absurd just how clean that toilet was.
There was a big old boiler used for heating the building. The thing felt really hot. Big demands seemed to be being made on it. A huge pile of coal lay in the corner to fuel the boiler. Real high-tech stuff. I didn't want any coal.
Pick up the coal, George.
Capacious as my pockets were, I didn't figure I could cram a shovel in them.
Maybe you should replace the sewer key with a shovel, then you'll probably
The
have
shovel
room.
used to feed the furnace was stuck into the pile of coal. There was a ventilation grill up in the wall. I could have climbed onto the sink, prized the ventilator cover loose, wedged myself into the tiny hole, smashed the far cover out, and plunged headfirst into the next room. Or I could just go through the door like a sane person.
George, everything we've been through so far, we all know you're not a sane person.
The shovel used to feed the furnace.
He's gonna steal some bathroom
The
soap.
cold tap's washer looked to have failed. It was just dribbling down the sink.
It's weird, right? The kind of stuff you pick up in this game, and he will not pick up a piece of coal.
The cold tap's washer looked to... It was the bar of soap I'd stolen from the washroom of the excavation site. Maybe not. That is not a good idea.
Scrub his face.
Hi again.
What is it?
What was I supposed to say? Hey, look what I stole.
Hey, monsieur, don't go with my keys.
Don't worry, I left the door unlocked.
What is it?
Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Thanks, I didn't spray a drop in there. Awful bathroom. You know, you're probably right, Kat.
Hi again.
What is it?
Give me the keys.
I need to use the toilet again.
Again? Already?
I have this problem. How technical do you want me to get?
Never mind. Here's the key.
Thank
Talk to you
you.
later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
The simplest solution to this would just be to leave the door unlocked.
I made an impression of the big key in the cake of soap.
Cake of soap.
That was a smart way to get a key made out of water. Now all I needed was a nitrogen bath to freeze it in, and I'd have a usable key.
Oh, Joe.
I carefully sprinkled the plaster into the soap mold I'd made of the key.
And then put it in my pocket. Cake of soup.
Well, it had taken a while, but I had made myself a completely unconvincing plaster key. Way too fragile to use in a lock. I'd have to substitute it for the real one. Trouble was, it looked like plaster and not metal. Then again, that plaster statue in Syria hadn't looked like stone until I'd been a bit artful with it. Maybe I could improve the key as well.
Cake of soap.
Maybe not.
Okay, so presumably we've made a key mold out of a different key that's on the ring.
What is it?
Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Thanks. I left a mess in the toilet. You should send for somebody.
Hi, it's me again.
What now?
I made this key out of plaster.
A thrilling. How clever. How pointless.
Listen, buddy, life is pointless. Don't you fucking take away from my small pleasures.
A greasy tissue. Don't get it too close to my cigarette, monsieur, or there'll be a conflagration.
Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Yeah, so I need to get this key into the paint pot.
Hey, monsieur! Get away from my paint pot!
Okay.
I should think so.
Just smack him with the...
Hi, it's me again.
What now?
I've got a sewer key.
I used to work.
Oh?
I had a manual cover.
I couldn't climb.
Yeah, but it's about how to do that. I have a thought. Oh, then I feel when I hear
Hi again.
song
What
they
is
used
it?
to play.
I need to use the,
Again?
I have this.
Never.
Walk away.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir.
See my Mary Ann walking away. Ah. Give him a drink.
Cooler.
Hi, Nico. It's me. I'm at the excavation site.
Goodbye, George.
No, wait a minute. I need your help.
What kind of help? I told you I'm busy.
This is
will
why I
only
called
take
her
a few minutes,
before.
I promise.
Because I thought there was
Okay,
something like
what
this,
do you want
and
me
there
to
was
do?
no
I
mention
want you
of
to
it.
keep somebody on the phone for a while.
Who?
A painter. I need to get at his pot.
Oh, okay.
Stay on the line. I'll go and get him. Hi again.
This
What
feels
is it?
like it could very easily not
Here's
work.
the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir.
Hi, it's me again.
What now?
You've got a phone call.
For me? Are you certain?
It's a woman. She sounded hot.
What woman? You must be mistaken, monsieur.
Well, she asked for that hunk of a man with the nicotine fingers and his ass hanging out of his pants.
Certainly sounds like me. Stand back. It wouldn't do to keep the lady from her hunk.
Pee in the paint pot. Scoop up some paint. It is a bit weird, especially considering that the series is primarily supposed to be realistic. It makes a little more sense in stuff like Space Quest or Monkey Island.
Well, monsieur, what a strange woman. She was all over me and then suddenly, nothing but abuse.
Really?
Why, abuse? Ah well, I have a cigarette to finish. And monsieur, if she calls again, I am not available.
I feel like a lot of people, especially in Europe, would
Hi
be
again.
What is it?
predisposed to be against him to begin with because he's American.
I need to use the toilet again.
Again? Already?
I have this
It is a
problem.
fun series, and George's sarcasm is
technical
well
do you want me
placed
to
a lot of
get?
the time.
Never mind. Here's...
Hey, smart. What? Talk to you later.
Au revoir.
I figured this was better. Quickly and without fuss, I swapped the fake key for the real thing.
Well, now I just have to get rid of the guard somehow.
Hi again.
What is it?
I couldn't give him the keys. The false key looked pretty convincing, but it felt exactly like what it was. Painted plaster. He was bound to detect it.
What?
Look.
Ah, if you give me...
Really?
Of course.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Hmm. Uh... Now, I'd substituted the fake key for the excavation key. It looked okay, but felt false. Being in a charming that place was, at least... It was a metal rod. That is not a good idea.
Hey, how you doing, EID? You caught us in a bathroom. Also, legendary streamer Foxhound Cat is here. The tissue. Yeah, it has. It has been a bit.
The thing felt really hot. Big demands seemed to be being made on it.
Work on this a little bit.
Capacious as my pockets were, I didn't figure I could cram a shovel in them.
Yeah, I'm going to be going for quite a bit today. The incentive is to finish this, and I've got another game lined up for us to do afterwards. Which should be fun, but also short enough that I should be able to get it done today.
I wasn't that interested in what might go into a restroom's garbage to investigate.
Feel more genuine.
The cold tap's washer looked to have... I didn't want to use that. A filth... That is not a good idea. No.
Okay, so I have to be able to sort it out with what I've got, and you won't switch them.
There was a ventilator.
Yeah, it's a heater. Not gonna do as much. It's a point-and-click adventure game.
The doorway led
96.
to an old... There was nothing...
Oh, I know what Nico.
I figured I'd best not bother Nico again until I'd got a good reason.
I wonder what Nico said to the guy.
A thermostat was mounted over a radiator. The radiator was pumping out heat as the thermostat was cranked right over to full. No wonder it was warm in here, even with the door open to the chill of fall. I couldn't imagine what I'd achieved by turning the dial.
Remember the days of point-and-click games where you just like, carefully scroll the cursor over everything in the room. Try and find something you missed.
The thing felt really capacious. There was a big old boy. I couldn't imagine.
I feel so unfamiliar with this scene.
Now, I'd substituted the fake key for the excavation key. It looked okay, but felt false. A thermostat. The radiator was pumping out heat as the thermostat was cranked right. No wonder it was warm in here, even with the door open to the chill of fall. It was Nico's photograph of the man we suspected of killing Plantar. It was hard to believe it was the shake and shock. Now, it was the key to... Hi again.
What is it?
It sure is hot in here.
I have to have the door open to allow the workmen access, so why not? I turn the heat up.
You could wrap up warm.
I have my gloves if it gets cold, but why bother when it's warm anyway?
Talk to you later.
Au revoir.
I turned the heating off.
Because he won't be able to feel it with his... God damn it.
What is it?
I held my breath and hoped that he wouldn't notice the substitution. Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
I didn't think that the guard would just... I had a hunch that door was... I turned the thermostat back to where I'd found it. I turned the heating off.
That was actually an interesting solution to the... Pretty sure we need to get him to argue with this guy out here.
Hi, it's me again.
What now?
Nothing.
Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
The painter.
Hey, monsieur!
Okay.
Away from my butt. He's a my butt. Full of fat.
I turned the thermos. I turned the... I couldn't get to the door while the guard was there.
All of this would have been so much easier if we just like picked up a shovel and smacked it with it.
Hi again.
What is it?
I need to use...
Again?
I have... Talk to you...
Au revoir.
That way we could just take the key and like go through the door.
The thing felt really hot. The shovel...
You've obviously never played Dreamweb. Where
What
the
is
solution
it?
to a
I
lot of
held my
puzzles is to
breath
just
and
kill
hope...
people.
Here's the keys.
Merci, monsieur.
The doorway led to it. There was nothing.
Dreamweb, it's point and click games, top down, interestingly. PC. It's supported on Scum VM. It's like, and I'm pretty sure it's abandonware at this point. If not just outright freeware. And like I say, it's supported on Scum VM, so if you're interested in checking it out, like, it's super easy to just... One thing I love about Scum VM, like, if you're interested in any of these old point and clicks, great, just get the files, load them through Scum VM. It's super simple. No concerns about having to deal with DOS or anything. What am I missing here? I feel like every time I take a step, I come against another roadblock.
Hi again.
What is it?
Do you recognize...
No.
Hi again.
What is...
Have you... Oh, you have... Do you reckon... After the amount of trouble I'd been through, I wasn't about to share with the guard how clever I'd been. Look.
Ah, if you give me...
Really?
Of course.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Yeah, if you've got a PC, even from like 10 years ago, you know how simple these games are to just load and everything. And like, they're old enough that they're not a problem to get running on anything. Get yourself Scum VM, set it up, it's super easy. Load the games into Scum VM, and I hope. Good.
There was a telephone on the far wall. Hi, Nico. It's me again.
I'd guessed. What do you want this time?
What did you say to the painter?
I shan't repeat it, George.
Oh,
Look, I need to get the guard out of the way. Could you call back and ask him to get the painter again?
Okay, I'll call back soon.
It's amazing. Like, okay, so he won't swap the keys in the same room as the guard because the guard might know it. But he'll say, "Hey, could you call back and get
This
the
looked
guard
like
to
a
get the
good
painter?"
place to watch things develop.
Like right next to him.
Hey, you. It's the phone.
Yeah? Who is it?
How should I know? What am I, your social secretary?
It's not a chick, is it?
Yes, it's a woman. Are you going to answer it?
Does she have a warm, sensual voice like molten chocolate?
Yes, she has a really sexy voice. Now get a move on.
I'm not talking to her.
I can see that. You're wasting time talking to me.
No, you don't understand. I refuse to talk to her.
You refuse. You refuse. I'm wasting valuable time.
Don't make me laugh. Your time valuable? You just stand around all day.
I have a highly responsible job. Pah, don't pah me, you elephantine oaf.
My job is
Why are
important.
they talking English to each other?
Impossible. They would have hired somebody competent in that case.
Meaning what?
Instead of which they hired a dismal rent-a-cop like you. All epaulettes and no brains.
Why, you...
This looked set to carry on for some time. It was too good an opportunity to miss.
We're gonna come back and one of them will be dead. Alright, let's see what's in here. I should have saved before opening.
Some planks used to make the catwalk were leaning against the wall. I couldn't see anything useful to do with the planks.
Just take the wood, George.
In the middle of the floor was a weird mosaic, all swirling and distorted. Close up, the pattern didn't make any sort of sense. It fanned out around an axis point, a kind of focus to one side.
We left that lens in the church, and I don't understand why.
No, thanks. I think I'm carrying enough junk.
That is somebody's head. You be more polite.
Oh, great. More dead people. Although the gendarmes weren't likely to pull in any suspects unless they had a time machine. This guy must have been here for centuries. Now there's a familiar face.
Or faces.
There was no doubt about it. It was the same sort of idol I'd seen in Syria, Baphomet. The Templars had certainly been through here. There was no doubt it was the Baphomet.
Weirds me that you won't just look at the design from a higher point.
And there it was, decoded by the curves of the chalice, the image of a church. I found out what the chalice was for.
You've solved the puzzle?
Yeah, there was a distorted picture at the Baphomet site. When I viewed it in the polished surface of the chalice, it changed.
What did it show?
A picture of a church with a square tower.
Oh, that narrows it down.
Look at the chalice now, Nico.
What happened? It's shiny.
The priest at Montfaucon buffed it up for me.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's not the
looks
only
as
thing he
good as
buffed up.
new.
No. You found a use for a priest. That's incredible.
Oh, Nico.
I guess I'd better return the chalice to the Countess.
Well, there's
Hurry
also the
back,
thing of,
George.
like, it's a church with a square tower. Okay, so presumably it's also in Britain, based on what we've narrowed down so far. Oh, how many churches does that possibly leave? Oh, to Spain. To the Villa de Vasconcha.
I'd been planning to return the chalice anyway, but I hadn't expected the trail to bring me here. The Villa de Vasconcelos was as picturesque as ever. The weather was still clear, and Lopez was still watering the damn lawn. I was beginning to suspect
Yeah, it's
that
a very
he was
good
surgically
example.
attached to that hose. Hi there, Lopez. How's tricks?
Senor Stobart, how pleasant to see you. You are well.
Fine, thanks. Is the Countess in?
She is waiting for you. I will show you up.
It's okay, I know the way.
Senor Stobart, I feel I owe you an apology.
No, you don't.
I was impolite on our first meeting.
Yes, you will.
Look, Lopez, just forget about it. I came on like a snake oil merchant. I wouldn't have trusted me in your shoes.
You do not understand. Finding the chalice has given my lady a new lease of life. It's a marvel. She smiles, she laughs. The tradesmen are saying that she is on Prozac.
If only they'd put her on Prozac years ago. Rakalackin and
Senor
Countess.
Stobart, oh, what a pleasure. Please, sit down.
Hi, Countess. The pleasure's all mine. I've brought back your chalice.
I'm gonna put it here.
Why? You've had it cleaned.
Yeah, I met an obliging priest with a soft cloth.
That wasn't the only
Have
thing
you
he'd had.
resolved the Templar mystery?
No, not yet. I don't even know what it is I'm after.
There are many stories of the knights secreting great wealth away.
Whatever. All I know is I don't want the bad guys to get it.
Ah, to be young and live in a world of moral absolutes.
There's something else that I discovered carved on Don Carlos's tomb. Biblical references.
What are the references, Senor Stobart?
Psalms 32:7, Corinthians.
I am not a good enough scholar to know the Bible chapter and verse. I meant, what are the quotations?
You know, I forgot to ask the priest.
I hope you have a Bible over here.
I discovered something amazing with that chalice. In Paris, I found a church where they recognized the coat of arms. I found the tomb of Don Carlos de Vasconcelos.
You are sure? There can be no mistake?
The coat of arms on the chalice matches the one on the tomb.
Incredible. You have my most profound thanks. I must go there as soon as possible.
Yeah?
Still don't
I'd be
know
happy
what
to show
happens
you
to
the city.
the kids.
Do you recognize this man?
No, I have never seen him before in my life. Who is he?
I've got a couple of names for him, but they're probably false. He's the killer.
No, his face is utterly unfamiliar.
You have a Bible here?
I'll have a look around if that's okay.
My home is your home. I shall remain here.
That's a boar.
Now what the hell was I going to do with a hog's head? From the window, I could see some sort of balcony. It didn't look like it was used too often. I didn't recognize any of the titles, apart from an ancient edition of Don Quixote. I doubted the Templars had hidden anything in there.
Sooner or later.
It was way too warm to light the fire. I came here to solve a mystery, not go jousting.
I know both. I'll ask Lopez. Maybe Lopez knows where a Bible is in this place. Can't believe at no point before getting here did George think to look in the Bible and find out what the verses were. talk to Lopez's, but...
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
So the Countess feels that the curse is lifted.
I would not put it so strongly. Your discovery of the chalice was proof that the Templars never abandoned the de Vasconcelos. It counts for a great deal with my lady.
What's the story behind the chalice vanishing?
When the Inquisition
Yeah, I was thinking
reigned,
there's
in
one
the
in the
absence of Don Carlos,
mausoleum.
it was believed that they had taken it. Naturally, they denied the charge as they denied taking the children. And naturally, nobody believed them.
But they were telling the truth. The chalice was hidden from them. You don't suppose they were telling the truth about the children as well, do you?
Madre de Dios! I had not thought of that. But then what happened to them?
I don't know. If the Inquisition didn't take them, then who did?
You must speak to my lady of these.
Count on it.
Countess on it.
Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios, Senor Stobar.
It was the Spanish Bible I borrowed from the mausoleum.
De Vasconcelos. Vasconcelos. I got the Bible.
Hello again. Mind if I sit?
Please, be my guest.
There's still the mystery of the missing chess piece.
I do not think that it will ever be discovered unless the fate of the children is revealed.
The Inquisition were suspected of taking the chalice and the kids, right? We know now they were innocent of the first crime. What if...
They did not take the children either. Then what happened to them?
The Inquisition admitted to killing Don Carlos's manservant. Now, this guy had been told to protect the kids at all costs, right?
That is correct.
I think he hid them and the chalice when he got wind that the Inquisition was coming. With him dead and Don Carlos driven mad with grief, there was nobody left who knew the secret.
Which means the children are still here.
You know what this means, don't you?
I fear so. The children are still here somewhere. If this is so, then it is small wonder that the de Vasconcelos are cursed.
Alright, I got the book.
Here's the Bible from the mausoleum.
I don't speak Spanish.
Very well. Let us begin. The first reference.
Psalms 32:7.
Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. My hiding place.
Don't get your hopes up too high. This might just be leading us to where we found the chalice.
You are right, of course. The next.
Okay, John 4:11.
John 4:11. Here. The well is deep. The next. Quickly.
Okay. Corinthians 4:5.
Here it is. Will bring to light the hidden things. Any more?
Just one. Psalms again. 22:21.
Save me from the lion's mouth, for thou hast heard me from the horns of the unicorns. The last is confusing. Lions, unicorns, what does it mean?
I can't guess.
Salient points seem to be a hiding place and a deep well. In no sense is there mausoleum a well, Senor Stobart.
Is there a well in the grounds?
I do not know. I suppose that there must have been once upon a time. Lopez is the man to ask about anything pertaining to the estate.
I'll just have another look around.
Very well.
Maybe from the horns of the... Thunder.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
You must know just about everything that there is to know about this place.
See, I have lived my whole life here in the service of the Vasconcelos.
Do you know of a well anywhere around here?
A well? Si, senor. This used to be a fortified villa.
So they
How
need their
can you
own
last
source
the
of
siege
water.
without water?
Great. So where is it?
How should I know? The well was covered over in the last century. It was dangerous, you see.
And you have no idea where it was?
None. It was hidden even before my grandfather's time.
Well, you must have a vague idea of where the well is.
It must have been in the old house's courtyard, so that would put it around here.
Here? Okay. Now, how do we find it?
There might be a way. Let me think about it.
Gonna do dousing up.
Any ideas yet?
Not as yet, Senor Stobart. I shall give it more thought.
Any idea?
Not...
Catch you later.
Adios.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor.
Do you know what this...
Si.
I didn't like the idea of carrying 30 yards of hose around me, so I left it alone.
Dousing.
It was just a little utility room with no exit, unless you counted the window, and I didn't.
Dousing. Most likely answer. Dousing rods actually work. Right, now I'm all wet.
The De Vasconcellos Mausoleum, where 5 Templars lie. I couldn't reach up there. Now that it had given up its secret, the glass squares on the lectern were just decorative again. I couldn't climb up there without breaking something.
So I'm pretty sure what we're after is a dowsing rod. Maybe Lopez has had a thought.
Hi, Lopez.
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
I wonder what speedruns in this game are like.
Any ideas yet?
Not as yet, senor.
Look at this tissue.
Why?
I'd like your opinion on it.
Okay. It has some sort of oily deposit on it.
That's grease paint.
Oh, I wouldn't like that on my face. It stinks of solvent. Stray spark, and your head might blow up.
I don't think it's quite that flammable.
Hmm.
Would you like to shake hands?
I do not think so, senor.
This lab pass mean anything to you?
Nothing.
Do you recognize this man?
No.
I don't suppose this red nose means anything to you, does it?
Ha! El flojo.
Oh, yeah.
El...
Ah,
He is a...
any idea?
No.
Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios.
Maybe talk to the Countess again, she might have an idea. Let's go.
I came here to solve a...
Can I take some of your
It
wood?
was way... Hello again. Mind if...
Please,
Does this lab...
nothing.
Do you know what this is?
No.
I'll have a look around if that's okay.
My home.
From the window, I could see the garden, including Lopez, who was still watering the damn thing.
But no indication of a well. Any thoughts, Bane?
A big chandelier, studded with plain white candles. Probably pretty impressive when all lit up. And it must keep the moth population down.
Probably not worth lighting all of them up.
I couldn't go up there. I love suits of armor. Who doesn't?
Scooby-Doo.
I wasn't going to put on the armor, and I couldn't.
Light the candle in the mausoleum. Ties into my thought about setting the tissue on fire. Yeah, Ben, have you thought about getting Scum VM? At this point, it's probably the easiest and best way to play the original Broken Sword games. You don't have a PC at all? Like, not even a laptop or anything? There we go, I was right. Thank you, Ben. Missing chest piece. It's crazy that in, what, centuries,
The
nobody
candle
lit
had
that
burnt
candle?
brilliantly, but only for a couple of minutes. Some kind of special formulation, I guess. And had yielded up this. A complex shape expertly cut in stone. I figured it was some kind of key. It was a smooth, intricately carved piece of stone that had been concealed inside the great candle.
Yeah, it's crazy that over the years, like over the centuries, nobody lit that.
I couldn't reach up there. The candle had burnt brilliantly.
Yeah, if you're interested in doing it, like Scum VM, easy enough to run. It's an emulator that doesn't take a whole lot of processing power. And the games that you're emulating old enough that they're not a problem to run.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
I feel like at some point somebody probably, like maybe in the winter,
Certainly,
would
senor.
possibly pay
How can I
respects
help
to
you?
one of their ancestors at like a dark time and would, I don't know, maybe light the candle. It's weird.
Any ideas yet?
We are looking for a source of water.
There we
See?
go.
Yes?
For generations, the Spanish country folk have had a secret way of locating water, even if it is meters beneath the ground.
Ah, you're not talking about water dousing, are you?
Eh?
You know, you get a stick and walk around until the stick twitches and dig there.
Oh, you've heard of it.
Yeah, I think most of the planet has. Okay, let's get a stick.
Uno momento. It must be a special stick, a Y of hazel.
Right. Do you have any hazel trees?
See? Here. That is hazel.
Do you know what this is?
No, senor. Is it some kind of key?
Yeah, I think it probably is.
Where did you get it?
It was hidden inside the big candle in the mausoleum.
And you burnt it? I wondered what the light was I saw through the window. My lady
Daniel
will be
common sense.
furious. The candle was centuries old.
Ah. This tissue is charred.
You won't get any argument from me on that, Signor Stobart.
Catch you later, Lope.
Adios.
So that was what a hazel...
Let's do this.
I went over to find a suitable stick. I don't believe it. There wasn't a single usable Y-shaped branch on the whole damn thing. Hi, Lopez.
Certainly, senor.
I can't find any usable branches on that hazel tree.
No. Que lata.
How am I supposed to find the well without a divining rod?
I have no idea, senor.
Oh, never mind. Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios, Signor Stobart.
Hello again.
Please.
So, I destroyed your centuries-old candle.
What does this charred tissue suggest to you?
You have pyromaniac tendencies?
Yes, but that's besides the point.
What do you make of this?
It looks like some sort of key. Where did you get it from?
It was buried inside the great candle in the mausoleum.
Inside it? What have you done to it?
I, lit it.
But it is irreplaceable.
Listen, the candle was to be lit in case of Moorish attack, right? Well, it burnt down in no time and revealed this key thing. Maybe that was the real purpose of lighting the candle.
What are you suggesting?
That lighting the candle was the equivalent of break glass in case of emergency.
Sentiment must not stand in the way of solving this mystery. You did the right thing.
Yes.
What do you make of this?
It is the stone key that you showed me earlier, is it not?
I'll just have another look around.
Very well.
From the window, I could, including, from the window, it was a large... The Countess de Vasconcellos seemed a lot happier than the last time we met.
Did she? She doesn't look happier and she doesn't sound happy. Check the back, see if there's another hazel tree. There does not appear to be.
I didn't want to mess with the building.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else here.
So that was what I went over to find a suitable stick. There wasn't. I went over to. I don't. There wasn't a. I went over to. I don't. There wasn't a.
Also, the thing though, of like, if Lopez is
Hi,
aware that
Lopez.
we're going to be
Got a minute?
trying to
Certainly,
divine
senor.
water,
How can I help you?
shouldn't he stop watering the lawn? But yeah, let's check the lawn, see if we can divine some water here. Oh, it's all over the place because Lopez has been watering it for the last 2 weeks.
Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios, Senor Stobart.
It was the driveway down to the main road. I didn't want to leave just yet, though. I went over to find a suitable stick. Aha!
That doesn't really look like the other tree. That looks like a very different kind of tree.
Hi, Lopez.
Certainly, senor.
Well, I got my divining rod. Now what?
Simplicity itself, senor. Hold the wand at the upper ends of the Y. Apply a little tension with your wrists so that the slightest movement of the wand's tip is clear, and walk slowly and steadily over the area.
Sounds easy enough. We'll find this well in no time.
Except, like I say, Lopez, he should turn the fucking hose back on. I do like that Lopez is doing different things as well.
Senor Stobart, you've found something.
This is it. This is where we find the secret of the Templars. Hidden here for hundreds of years. Lost from the sight of man.
The way he's building this up now,
until
it's going to be
now.
a fake.
The mystery is revealed.
It's a tin can.
I've been walking up and down with a twig in my hands, looking for a tin can.
It had water in it. That's what the dowsing stick must have detected.
I'd have to check with an archaeologist, but I don't think the Templars left that.
In truth, Senor Stobart, the lawn was laid many, many years ago. This can could date back to the Napoleonic Wars.
Get rid of it and I'll try it again. Lopez threw the can away. It seemed to fall an awfully long way. The splash at the end confirmed what we both suspected. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
It has been here all the time. All those years and nobody found it.
Stood in awe for a moment, marveling at the secrets all around us.
Somebody could have fallen into that.
I could have fallen down that.
The well had been lost for decades at least. The air was cool after the noon sun, but that's not what gave me goosebumps. I have a really, really bad feeling about this.
He turns to look at the camera. Maybe I should save my game. Alright.
I'd need tools to move all that stuff. Heavy equipment that just wasn't available.
Honestly, the fact that this well is just like out there says to me that Lopez doesn't do a very good job in watering anything front lawn. Or maintaining anything other than the front lawn.
A great stone lion's head with a gaping maw full of fangs. As far as I knew, nobody had cast eyes upon it for centuries as it stood, waiting in the cool shadows. The words of the psalm kept running through my head. Save me from the lion's mouth.
Unicorns.
From a distance, the lion's head had been impressive. Close up, it was frightening. Hey, one of the fangs is a separate piece. I could hear the sound of a lot of stone moving, and I knew I was in danger. Oh, very funny, you psychos!
Senor Stobart! Senor Stobart! Are you all right?
It's okay, Lopez, I'm fine!
Que susto me has dado! You gave me a scare!
Nice try, Templars.
When they're actually having them shout, it really brings to light the limits of the recording at the time. You can hear it sometimes when a character starts talking in a completely silent environment, like the buzz of a microphone picking up ambient noise. Like that with all the echo there, it's like that was a recording studio and this, like these voice lines are unfiltered.
I wished that I had Leary's flashlight now. It just felt like a pitted stone wall. I'd almost been killed for the sake of a red herring. It was a smooth, intricately carved piece of stone that had been concealed inside the great candle. In the deep shadows, it was hard to make anything out. Hi, Lopez. There's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
Need a light.
It's really dark down there. Do you have a flashlight or something?
No. I broke my torch only last month.
Damn. It's so bright up here, but the light's just not getting into the corners.
See, the light, it goes in straight lines.
Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios.
So, the mirror thing?
Hello again.
Please.
I'll have a look around if...
My home.
This is so goddamn... There we go. I don't think I noticed that. 20. Alright.
There, in the middle of the door, I could see some kind of socket. It looked like this wasn't quite the dead end it had seemed.
It's weird that you would assume it's a dead end when you can't even see what's there.
Open sesame! Another secret door.
Why is there suddenly so much light in here now?
Before I left, though, there was one last thing to do. You won't be needing that replacement piece anymore, Countess. I found it with the children. You'll probably want to be alone for a while. I'll be out in the garden with Lopez.
And then that's it. We get no real resolution of her character.
George, welcome back.
Come in, Josh. It's good to see you again.
Is it?
Sure. What did you find in Spain?
Without Andre, we wouldn't have got this far, Josh.
Yeah, I know. The clues led to an underground chamber at the bottom of a well. The Templars had left a tapestry showing a chessboard. The white pieces were vastly outnumbered. There was a stream running across the board, and a Templar knight on a horse.
But what did it mean?
Does it mean anything to you, Andre?
No, nothing.
Maybe we should tell Andre what else you found, Josh.
There's a map and a Latin inscription to the west at the edge of the world.
Georges found that in a cave in Syria.
Yeah, I already told him.
Yeah, where the assassin almost killed me.
Then we've got the burning of Jacques de Molay and the date, 1314.
From the window of the church in Montfaucon Square, one of the few places where nobody tried to kill me.
Then we have the image of a church that Georges found at the excavation. I don't recall anyone trying to kill you there either, George.
And finally, we have the tapestry in Spain. Did I mention I almost got killed there?
Not yet, but I'm sure you're about to.
Look, if you two want to go
It
and
was
do
only
all
my
of this
cat-like
yourselves,
reflexes that saved me from certain death.
Cat-like reflexes, eh?
And while I was risking life and limb, where were you, Andre? Getting your glasses fogged up over an Etruscan vase?
That's enough, boys. Can we get back to saving the world?
what's this wee
Of course.
business, Nico?
My apologies.
He started it.
Well, the Latin phrase are the words of Julius Caesar. He was describing the island of Britain.
Are you sure? The map didn't look much like Britain.
How come Caesar described Britain as being at the edge of the world?
Because they
To
didn't
the
know
Romans,
about...
the Mediterranean was the center
US.
of the universe. Britain was a remote, unfriendly place, inhabited by blue-painted savages.
the Celts.
It hasn't changed much.
They've stopped painting themselves blue.
Except when they go to a football match.
They used an extract from a plant called woad, Icetis tinctoria. The Scots were using it until fairly recently in the wars with the English.
Fairly recently? I don't recall the Scots being at war with the English. How recently are you talking about?
I believe William Wallace's men used it in the 13th century. They might well have been using it as late as
1314.
You can't remember, can you?
1314.
Ah, we're back onto that, are we?
Andre, what is it? What do you mean?
1314 in Scotland. The Battle of Bannockburn.
That would explain the stream on the chessboard. That's what a burn is. Right, Andre? As in Bannockburn?
Right, George. And it gets better. Tradition has it
Meanwhile,
that the
Nico
Scots were
contributes
helped by
nothing
a
to-
shock force of, well, can't you guess?
Neo-Templar?
Yes, a group of outlawed Templars. They are said to have turned the tide for the Scots.
And it all ends at a church in the Isle of Britain at Bannockburn in a church.
What are we waiting for? I'll call a cab.
I can't go.
Andre, you've been loads of help, but
What George is trying to say is that you shouldn't feel guilty.
I was.
We understand you've got commitments. Oh, listen, we have to hurry. Let's go, George.
We'll see it through. Oh, and, don't worry about us.
We go, fuck. And then we're just on a train.
Oh, it must be done.
Oh, I guess so. And we must be nearly there.
Couldn't
Somewhere
fork out for a private cabin.
out there in the dark is Scotland. We've come a long way together to get here.
Together.
Let's hope it was worth it.
Nico contributes far less to this than I remember.
I've still got the clown's nose.
And apparently
So I
nothing
see.
else.
You should throw it away, George.
There's something I've been meaning to say to you, Nico.
Is this the right time and place, George?
There might not be another time. I don't want to waste this chance.
You don't need to say anything. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But here, with you. Now.
Jodie's a holy slain, George. Why, aye.
You're exhausted. Why don't you get some sleep?
Sleep? At a time like this?
Excited, huh?
Would you like something to help you sleep, dearie? I've got some tablets in my bag.
Oh, no.
That's
Thank
very
you.
kind of you,
Thanks all the
unknown
same,
old
man.
woman.
The old lady reminded me of my grandmother, except, of course, that this old lady was still alive. She was as beautiful as ever, but the shadows beneath her eyes marked the strain of the last few days.
through all of this. Like, especially just as we go now, this whole idea of a romance between Nico and George feels like it just comes out of nowhere.
Pardon me?
Yes, my dear.
Do you know what time we're due in Stirling?
6:15, but we're running 8 minutes late.
Would you believe that this clown's nose led us to being on this train tonight?
I would indeed.
No, honestly, You would?
Certainly. You have an honest face.
Hmm.
Do you know Stirling well?
Yes, I do. Is that where you two lovebirds abound?
Yeah,
It's one of the places we thought we'd see on our holiday.
Be sure to visit the castle, won't you?
Oh, I'm sure it's a neat place. But we are not really interested in history, are we, George?
No.
I suppose espresso bars and boogie-woogie are more your cup of tea.
That's right. There's nothing George enjoys more than a good boogie.
Is there a church called St. Ninian's at Stirling?
Yes, there is. And I know why you're going there.
You do?
Of course I do. It's obvious you're in love. You're eloping, and they say romance is dead.
What's the book you're reading?
Oh, it's something I picked up at the station. A medieval detective story. Quite well written for that kind of thing. It's been out of print for years.
Been out of print for years, but you managed to pick it up at a train station?
What's the title of the book?
The Crooked Crusader Caper by Molly Pegram. I assumed the author was a woman, but apparently not. His real name is...
Professor Nigel Pegram.
That's right. Do you know him?
No, I never met him.
George is a great fan of his, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go stretch my legs.
Where are you going, George?
Do I need to spell it out?
Don't snap at me. If you're going to take a leak, why don't you say so?
Oh, there
Okay,
goes the romance.
I'm going to take a leak. L-E-A-K.
Tickets, please.
Oh, hi.
That's a familiar mustache.
That's a standard full-price peak return. Don't you have a senior citizen's rail card?
I rarely travel by train. My ticket is perfectly valid, is it not?
Well, yeah, but you could have saved up to 1/3 of the cost.
I do not need to indulge in puffling thriftiness.
Blimey, you're a funny old bird and no mistake. Tickets, please, sir.
Here.
Off to Stirling, eh?
Yes, we are.
Well, I hope you won't be disappointed. It's a miserable place this time of year. Still, there's plenty of pubs and a lovely view from the castle.
Thank you.
I don't want to worry you, but there was something
Yeah, that was
familiar
Eklund.
about that guy.
Are you sure? You're tired. Perhaps you're mistaken.
Maybe. But I didn't like the look in his eyes when he spoke to you.
Can't you sit still, George?
I need to go to the John.
While you're there, check out the buffet car, George.
You may do that.
Unthinkable though it is,
You may do that
I am
before or
hungry
after I
enough
go
to
in the
eat English
bathroom.
food.
Okay.
I love this kind of environment in the Broken Sword games.
The man's face was blotched and unshaven.
I feel like
guess
Broken
he'd
Sword
been
2
traveling
does
all
it
night.
more often,
Red-rimmed
though.
eyes stared fish-like above his broken nose. All I could see of the man's face was a massive purple bruise around his eye. It was a strange contrast with his flaming red hair, which stuck out in stiff, greasy tufts. I didn't want to wake him. To be frank, without a cold water hose, I didn't think I could wake him.
And his companion?
Hi, having a party?
No, this is breakfast. Come on, join us, man. Away, Basha, wake up, man. What's company?
His breath was like the outlet from a chemical factory.
Excuse me, mate.
I
He's
don't
taking a
see.
nap. Sleeping like a bobby. I'll wake him up when we get to Newcastle.
We passed through Newcastle half an hour ago.
And I never noticed.
Yeah, that's a Geordie, alright.
Would you like a red nose?
No, thanks, pal. I got one of my own.
What is that stuff you're drinking? It smells like gasoline.
Aye, I'll put hairs in your chest, like.
And your eyeballs, too, by the looks of you. See you later.
Didn't open that window, pal.
Why not?
It's freezing out there.
Yeah, let's explore more of the train.
The door was locked. The door was locked. Oh, no. That gangster creep from the hotel, Guido. Well, he didn't scare me. Hey, Buster. This is a no-smoking car. Okay, maybe he did scare me. It got worse. I suddenly realized who the conductor had reminded me of. Eklund, Marquet's murderer. I should have known better than to leave Nico and the old lady alone. Suddenly, the sword of Baphomet took second place to finding the girl I loved.
I'll accept the girl you have an infatuation with. The girl you loved is a bit much.
The door was locked. Hey, buddy. Listen, I need your help.
What's the matter?
There's a guy on this train who's trying to kill me.
Relax, man. You wouldn't try nothing with us in Basharia. We are veterans like, so action at Brightlingsea.
I don't recall the British Army being involved in a conflict at anywhere called Brightlingsea.
Well, you just take it from me, pal. You're in safe hands.
Okay.
Did you see what happened to the young woman in the next compartment?
No, pal, I didn't. Have you lost her, like?
She's disappeared. The old lady, too. I think they're in trouble.
The old
Wait,
lady's
man,
okay.
an old lady, too.
Yeah. You gotta help me.
Maybe they went to the toilet, like.
I don't think so.
They never go on their own. Always in pairs, you know.
I mean,
No,
yeah,
she's
mostly.
been abducted, I'm sure. I've got to go look for her.
What's stopping you, pal?
The conductor. He's not what he seems.
You want to avoid him, like?
That's about it,
Aye.
yeah.
No problem.
See you later.
Don't do it, pal. Don't jump.
Not
I
jumping,
don't
I'm
intend
climbing.
to jump. I'm going to climb on top of the train.
You're kidding, aren't you?
Just watch me.
Here we go, build up to the action set pieces. And we're off.
Hold on there, pal. I'll give you a hand, like.
This is the nicest Geordie I've ever met. let's see if we can find them. Yeah, kick his ass, old woman.
Let's talk this over like reasonable
That was the wrong
people,
thing.
Eklund. I can explain everything.
Right, let's go.
Hold on there, pal. I'll give you a hand, like.
Here we go. Made it to the church though. The church looks a lot like that place he was buried in France. God damn it.
Hold on there, pal.
Oi, oi. That was probably worth it. Not even a warning about it, which is the craziest part.
Hold on there, pal. I'll give you a hand, like.
Oh. Alright. That time's a charm.
I knew killing came easily to Eklund.
Okay, so it's not that. Axe in the background. We'll get this at some point. No, I'll get it, Ben.
I'd always wanted to stop a train.
There we go.
And now was my chance.
Toot toot, motherfucker.
You saved our lives, but why?
We were always on the same side, Stobart. Different causes,
but a common enemy.
The Knights Templar?
Don't call them that. The real Templars were a noble foe. These barbarians have no right to that name. These men are no better than dogs.
What are the Neo-Templars after? What is the Sword of Baphomet?
Not what you think, my friend. It is a weapon, yes.
It's
but
interesting
one
to see
which
this
our
is the way
enemies
Khan
will
ends.
find difficult to wield. A double-edged sword. A power older than Dimolay, older than Solomon.
We'll stop
An ally.
you and me together, and Nico.
Oh no, George. My journey ends soon. The Garden of Paradise.
You're talking in riddles. Can't you tell me straight what they're after?
The sword symbolizes a colossal energy caused by the alignment of the unnatural power fields.
Which are focused at St. Ninian.
The energy endowed Templars with power which made them great. Power which made them charismatic to such an extent they could control the will of all around them.
Maybe not.
We're not going to offer him the nose back?
How did you escape from the bull's head?
It is a long walk from the cliff of the bull to the village, Stobart. Fortunately, I know the ways of the wilderness. Also, I have a sister who keeps a garage just around the corner.
Okay. What, the weird noise around the voices?
Maybe not.
That's the stream. That's the game. Game audio.
May Allah guide you to our enemies.
Thanks.
One last thing.
What? What is it? He's dead. Underneath that heap of tumbled crates was Eklund. I wasn't about to help him out. Underneath that heap...
And chop for a moment?
The guy was a professional...
Guess it was the stream then.
The last thing he deserved was sympathy. I had to admit it, though. I was sorry he'd ended up this way. I couldn't think of a single way the extinguisher would be of use in the absence of a fire. The rear exit was barred and padlocked.
Where do you think you're going?
Don't worry, I hadn't forgotten about you.
Answer me this instant, George Stobart.
I will, when I'm ready.
Yeah, that's the best thing to say.
That's not fair, George.
No.
You took advantage while my hands were tied.
When Eklund pointed that gun at me, I thought I was gonna die. I thought of all the things I'd never get to do, and kissing you was at the top of my list.
George,
Uh-huh.
George, we've got to get off the train. Eklund could recover at any time.
So what are we waiting for?
Don't even think about it, George.
What? Who?
Look me straight in the eye and tell me you weren't thinking of using that axe on Eklund.
Oh, come on. You think I'd kill a man in cold blood?
I was taking it for
Of course
later.
not. I just don't trust you not to cut your own stupid foot off.
This is why we never work out, Nico.
Nico?
What now?
How you feeling?
How would you feel if you'd been tied up and humiliated?
Don't worry. Eklund isn't gonna cause any problems for a little while.
I wasn't talking about Eklund.
Oh, now listen.
I don't want to talk about it. You took advantage of me, George Stobart.
Are you mad at me because of one little kiss?
Little. You have a tongue like an horse.
You're such a sweet talker, Nico.
Oh, this is it.
I'd feel happier if we had a gun or something.
Or an
Cam gave me
axe.
something.
What?
His handbag.
Oh, great. If we run into any killers, we can give them a good buffeting. Didn't he have any weapons?
You don't know the half of it. This bag's full of C4.
Wow. Why didn't you say so? Boy, we'll show them now. What's C4?
Plastic, George.
We're going to shop our way to victory?
2 kilos of plastic explosive. The detonator's broken now.
No problem. We'll buy a box of matches somewhere.
It doesn't work that way. It takes a small explosion to start the
C4 is
big
a very
explosion.
stable
Well, that's not
material.
much use
Not
then.
just
What does that sign say?
set it on fire.
Apparently, during the English Civil War in the mid-17th century, this place was used as an arms dump.
Yeah? What happened?
Look at the state of this place, George. You work it out.
blow
Oh,
up?
stray spark?
You got it. The tower was the only thing to survive the blast.
I hope the explosion didn't destroy the Sword of Baphomet.
Do you?
Baphomet.
I rather hope it did.
Imagine we come all this way, we do all of this, staying with the Templars as well, and we get here and it turns out, oh yeah, that thing they've been after the entire time. The whole point of it, everything, was destroyed 300 years ago in an accident.
The wheel turned reluctantly with a creak of complaint. There was no obvious way of removing the wheel from its housing. Examining the demon more closely, I realized something about its face. It was a clever illusion. No matter where I stood, the eyes weren't looking at me. There was a simple reason.
Yeah.
The demon didn't have any eyes. The stone face of the demon grinned with a horribly lifelike expression. It was so realistic, I could imagine the sculptor carving it from a live model. She was as beautiful as ever. Above the carved cross was an indecipherable inscription. For all I knew, it could have been scribed in Gaelic.
Gaelic's Irish.
I tried pushing the panel, but wasn't surprised when it failed to move.
Gaelic is Celtic? What?
I scrabbled around in the rubble and found an old clay pipe with a broken stem. The pipe could have been anything from 50 to several hundred years old. It was a heap of stones and stuff which had tumbled down from the rafters. Under one of the stones, I found a metal coin which was green with age. It was caked with soil, but what I'd found was a small cog and spindle.
That's just needlessly confusing.
With mounting excitement, I felt something between my fingers. It was short, hard, and black. Something I hadn't expected to find here. It was a plastic pen top. I didn't find anything.
Mm-hmm.
The pipe could have been anything from... It was a black plastic pen top.
Looks blue to me.
It was an old coin. The cog was one of those objects I wished I hadn't carried in my pocket. Nico?
Uh-huh.
What are you doing?
Committing this inscription to memory.
Can you read it?
No.
What's the point of studying the inscription if you can't read it?
Because it could be important. A clue to whatever we're looking for, who knows? I
Just take a
might
picture of
find
it.
someone in Stalin to translate it.
We don't have time to go looking for a linguist.
No? At least I am doing something positive.
Languages are weird.
What language is that inscription written in?
You're the languages student, you tell me.
It looks like ancient Norse. Maybe.
Perhaps it's in code.
I don't think so.
Norse code.
And you wonder why these two never actually end up staying together.
Any suggestions what I could do with this cog?
Well... Well...
Look! I found an old coin! You think it's worth anything?
George, focus on the situation at hand, please.
Thing like that, it's probably like really...
Look what I found buried in the rubble!
It's a plastic pen top.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Finding something so mundane in a place like this.
Astounding! Let me know if you find any paper clips.
I'm getting there.
Nico, I found an old clay pipe.
George, I don't care.
Seriously, like, you wonder why these two don't stay together.
The cog slipped neatly into the eye socket. The cog turned freely, but nothing happened. The cog turned. With one of his eyes in place, the demon looked even more disturbing than before. I pushed the pen top into the mouth, and it disappeared somewhere inside the statue. It had probably gone straight to Biro Hell.
Yeah.
With the clay pipe in his mouth, he looked happy, homely, like somebody's granddaddy.
What do you think you're doing, Josh?
I wondered if there was a secret mechanism in the demon's mouth.
Maybe you should show a little more respect.
For a mythical medieval demon? Give me a break.
Okay, go right ahead. Meddle with forces you don't understand. Incur the demon's wrath and burn in hell. Just see if I care.
Kind of hot when you're passionate, you know.
The cog The wheel turned. There was a large arch led into the tower. It was just about recognizable as the church I'd seen reflected in the chalice. Templars, Roundheads, and Cavaliers. This place has seen a lot of history. I figured Scotland had had enough trouble with Burke and Hare without me trying my hand at grave robbing.
Okay.
No way were we leaving until the mystery was solved. There were lots of graves, some as recent as late Victorian. It looked like the locals had carried on using this place as a cemetery long after the destruction of the church.
Alright.
The cog turned freely, but nothing happened. I tried pushing the panel, but wasn't... Nico?
Uh-huh.
Doesn't even pay attention.
Look! I found...
George.
Hmm.
Sometimes the most childish gestures can have a cathartic effect. The transformation of the demon to a clown did just that for me. The cog turned... The handle turned easily and the larger wheel began to revolve. Damn! Then the handle came off in my hand. The wheel turned reluctant. There was no... The cog turned... The pipe could have been any... The cog turned... I didn't find anything.
Could be another code. Makes sense.
Now that the handle was gone, it was easy to remove the cog and spindle.
Can you imagine how hard it was to, like, all of this?
With a rasp
Back
of
on
metal
much
on
lower resolution
stone,
monitors.
I eased the second eye into place.
Hey, welcome to the stream, TOJ1. That should do something now.
I pushed the handle into the demon's mouth. The cogs all meshed. I began to turn.
That's crazy. It's not so much about using your imagination as, like, you wouldn't be able to see a lot of this. It's my imagination for, like, a lot of the faces of these characters, because you can't see them that clearly. Which made it really weird when I played the director's cut and they had portraits of them and they looked completely...
As soon as I saw the flickering torches, I realized the bogus Templars had beaten us to the sword. But where were they now? And why was it so quiet?
Nico, you want to put the C4 on this gunpowder?
The powder spilling from the barrels reminded me of pirate stories I'd loved when I was a kid. It was gunpowder.
Oh yeah, I've done this before. I made a point of showing just how easy it is to do once you know what you're doing.
Nico?
Uh-huh.
It looks like the Templars got here first.
We might not be too late. There's still a chance.
I wish I had your optimism.
So do I, George. Sometimes you're so negative.
Maybe not.
You'll show her everything but the handle.
No, George!
What?
Leave the torch right where it is. In case you haven't noticed, the crypt is full of gunpowder.
Yeah, I was going to
So
throw
what?
it on the
Don't you
gunpowder
trust
and
me?
just leave.
It's not a question of trust.
No? You think I'm a jerk, don't you?
Don't be silly, George. And keep your voice down. I thought I heard something. Like chanting.
Now let's go check them out.
Listen, I can definitely hear chanting.
You're right. I hear it too. What do you suppose they're doing?
It wouldn't
Chanting.
surprise me if they were holding some kind of satanic sex ritual.
So,
But
what
there
are we
was only
waiting
one
for?
woman that we saw.
Shh.
Illegal rave.
Will you look at that?
Spectre Rosso.
Baphomet. Labino was right. This place was ancient even to the Templars.
This whole place? This is Baphomet?
Finally, the truth. The Templars had never worshipped this graven image, no more than they'd worship a rainbow. But, like a rainbow, they regarded it as a symbol of a covenant with God, who'd revealed this place to them.
Rosso! Why, the double-dealing treacherous?
On the contrary,
Probably should have done something
Inspector
about that
Rosso
one.
has been the model of obedience, an important quality in a true Templar. Now be quiet and watch if you wish to live much longer.
Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here to witness the reforging of the sword that was broken. Here before God's sentinel, Baphomet. Grand Master and Knight of Baphomet, we salute and pledge our obedience.
We probably should have gotten
to
more
you.
characterization and appearance from the Grandmaster, given that he's supposed to be like the main villain.
I salute you, gatekeeper of the temple. Seven centuries ago, our greatest weapon, the sword of Baphomet, was lost to us. Now we prepare to reforge it, to wield against new enemies. As the tired millennium dies, and this world looks for new leaders, we shall not fail. We shall lead the people to a new order, wherein all borders will dissolve. All will be united under the red cross of the Templars.
World domination? Really? I wonder which of these guys are supposed to be Susaru. It's fine. It's more like a different Red Cross.
George, we have watched your efforts to stop us with respect. But surely you realize that you have been misled by our enemies. Both of us want a better world. Fortunately, no harm.
A little hard to think you guys are the good guys when you've
We
got Eklund
need
over here with a gun on
determined,
us.
resourceful men like you. Join us, George. Join us in true brotherhood.
Yeah. True. Wait. Brothers? What about Marquet? What about Pegram and Klausner? You didn't look on them as brothers, only as failures. 3 men dead, and you don't give a damn.
George, you know that sacrifices are necessary. Every great undertaking.
Join you. I'll see you in hell first.
See you in hell.
Ah, George, I had great hopes for you. C'est la guerre. Eklund, kill him.
Oh, crap. Oh, hey, Rosso.
I swear, I just wanted things to be right.
Take them. Kill them.
Why don't you kill us?
They
You have a gun.
will not escape.
You have a gun. Guido.
Well, well. If it isn't the great detective and his beautiful assistant, it's going to be a pleasure killing the pair of you.
Josh, what are we going to do?
Fuck you.
Come on, Nico. We're leaving.
You fools! You cannot escape us. Guido! Stop them.
But master, the powder!
That powder is from the English Civil War. You fools. It's over 300 years old.
Again, you've got a gun. You're just not shooting us.
I thought it was all over, but Nico had one last trick up her sleeve. Or in her handbag, to be exact. A handbag full of plastic explosives.
Maybe, but this stuff is brand new.
Oh,
Don't worry, we'll see Guido again.
You know, you'll never be able to write your story now.
I don't care. I've got what I want.
Huh?
Just tell me one thing, George. Is our life together always going to be this crazy?
George and Nico do not last long as a relationship. Then the idea with that take is supposed to be that the gunpowder explodes, causing the C4 to then explode. That's Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. Rest assured, we will return to this series with Broken Sword 2, The Smoking Mirror, and more adventures of Nico and George, featuring more Nico next time. With a different voice actor and a different design. You know what really surprised me? How Nico looks so different in Broken Sword 2. Yeah, this was fun to go back to. It's a good game. Good game. Thank you, T. I can definitely see, like, going through the original all the way again, I can definitely see why you might want to go through the director's cut instead. And the director's cut is certainly more playable these days as well, given that it also contains a hint system when you might get stuck. But the original is the one I had growing up, and I'm still happy with it. Thank you, Ben. Virgin Interactive Entertainment, which would be bought by EA. I don't know which EA studio they are now. It might be worth you going through the director's cut instead, man. I can't believe Revolution's still around. Like, as a thing, Revolution's still around. You haven't been bought out by anybody. And they're still doing what they always did. They're still making point-and-click adventures. Like, they put out Broken Sword 5 on PS4. Independent, yeah. On PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC. Finally made a sequel to one of the classic adventures, Beyond the Steel Sky. Like, it's crazy. But it's good to see, and we'll definitely return to Broken Sword with the Smoking Mirror at a later date. But this was good. I've enjoyed doing this. I think it'll definitely be worth doing some other point-and-click games in the future. Probably the Monkey Island series, the Indiana Jones point-and-click games. Some of the other LucasArts ones, like Sam and Max Hit the Road, which I've never done. The only LucasArts adventure game I had growing up was Curse of Monkey Island. But this has been fun. So it is a little past 8:30. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a very quick break. And then I am going to come back with another game. Broken Sword 5, 23rd, goddamn. Broken Sword 5 is 10 years old now. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back to round off the evening with another classic video game from 1996. Same year this was released. So don't go anywhere, and we will be